welcome back to the DMG's Third and Wrong YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going over our top 10 wide receiver prospects post-combine. Doesn't say in the title there, but this is post-combine. Of course, like always, we are joined with Gage and Dylan. My boys, how's it going?
Going a lot better now that we're talking about a position group we like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is the number one position that everyone has their team drafting in their own mock draft. So,
oh, yeah.
I'm excited for it. I think there are some real sleepers, so
oh yeah,
I'm excited.
This is a deep group for sure. But before we get started, make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. God, I almost couldn't say that there for a second because I'm so excited. And also stay tuned for more videos like this because we're going to be pumping them out, and they're going to be freaking awesome. So, with all that being said, number one on the list for the wide receivers is going to be the main man himself, Garrett Wilson. My boy.
He's my true number one now. Honestly, I love Treylon, but I think Garrett Wilson just technically is just gifted unlike any of the other guys.
Yeah.
He's fast. He proved it in the 40, I guess, but I mean on game film, he doesn't look that fast.
I think he just does it effortlessly.
Yeah, that might be it. But, we've said it all before. You can write a book about how good this guy's footwork and his release off the line, everything about it. He doesn't drop passes. Mikey and Dylan had a funny what would you call it?
Well, I was just going to say, the one thing about the combine that I noticed with him was he leaves his feet for every catch. Yeah. That drill they do, I think it's like the gauntlet or something. They run down the middle and they look on each side and catch passes. Every pass, that dude left his feet. I don't know why.
Observation.
I don't know why.
Interesting observation.
I just noticed that. He was running down the side, he's running, jump, and catch it, and then and then catch it. I'm like, what are you doing right now? This is a speed and hands drill, and you're leaving your feet. There's no need to leave your feet for this drill.
Though one thing about Garrett Wilson is he was the second best wide receiver in Ohio last year behind Jamar Chase. So
yeah.
That's probably fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also impressive because he is probably better than T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Garrett Wilson, number one for sure. He's a stud.
The word I was looking for was observation.
Yeah.
For some reason, I couldn't get that out.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you guys made it funny. Crap, what was it? Funny observation.
I thought you were going to say meme or something, but...
No.
Yeah, I don't make memes.
Let's move on.
Yep, moving on to number two here. Basically, 1A, 1B for these two guys. It's Treylon Burks out of Arkansas. My number one. This dude is an absolute machine. What is he? What are you measuring at the combine? I know before he was measuring in at 6'3", 225.
He was 6'1", 7/8.
Wow,
so 6'2", basically.
Okay, so it's 6'2". That's still not small. But
no, and then people are saying he looked like he could look better, weight wise. He doesn't look fat, but it looks like he can be healthier.
Well, with Treylon Burks,
that's what people were saying.
But people are also saying that he had a bad combine. In my opinion, they didn't watch any of the routes. They didn't watch any of the drills. They just watched the 40 time and what his weight is or whatever. But he looked like the best wide receiver at the combine when you don't take into account the 40 time or whatever.
I mean, the 40 time's all good and dandy. Just look at John Ross and how far that got him.
Yeah.
So you can take the 40 time for what it's worth, I guess.
He's still fast enough to be in the NFL on tape and everything. So, yeah, people are reacting differently than I would.
The dude torches SEC defenses week in, week out. That's all you need to know about this dude.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys said it because they're all that. But that was the biggest pet peeve I had. Is like Dylan said, everyone just watched the 40. And then they turned it off.
The 40 doesn't matter.
He was all hands. Yeah, he was all hands. People like Calvin Austin. Sorry. People like Calvin Austin. People are hyping him up or anything. The dude got a scholarship to go to West Virginia for track. No shiz that this guy's blowing it up. in the track meet for the NFL, unlike the guys that are playing football. Yeah, obviously he's gonna have a better 40 time. Look at like on-field speeds. Exactly. Look at dynamic speeds. Like look at the actual stuff. All the catches that Treylon did, no bobbles, all pure hands, just grab and go. Footwork great.
Exactly.
The guy's a beast.
That's the stuff that actually matters in the NFL, not how fast you can run. Good job. You ran fast in a straight line. Now let's see you do with a DB in your face and you have to change directions. Then let's see how fast you are. And
unless
create separation.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's like 1 in a million.
Yeah, exactly. It's a diamond in a rough, basically, to get the fast receiver that can do it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, Treylon Burks for sure. 1A, 1B. These dudes are interchangeable. They're both amazing. So, with all that being said, moving on to number 3 here.
Who do we have?
Jameson Williams out of Alabama. So, God, I wish he wasn't injured, man.
Yeah, I think he would be number 1. Honestly, I think he would be number 1 right now if he wasn't hurt.
He's so good, too.
Watch him more.
Well, the thing is he was, I think the single most dynamic player in college last year. He was unstoppable, and as soon as he went down, Alabama went down.
Yeah.
And for a wide receiver to provide that is rare, in my opinion. And, yeah, if he didn't have this injury, he would be number 1 in almost everyone's books. But, I mean, you do have to take it into account, sadly. I mean, injured players come with red flags, so it's just kind of what it is.
But the closer the draft comes... Sorry, Mikey.
No, go ahead.
I was like, the closer the draft comes, the more chatter you're hearing about him. Top 15, top 10.
Yeah.
People just don't care now.
Yeah.
So
I think people also kind of discard. Sorry, Dylan. I think a lot of people discard the fact now that an ACL kind of isn't what it used to be. Technology has grown in vast ways, and there's so many different things and more techniques that they have for stuff like this. So an ACL isn't kind of what it used to be, and I think he'll be back 100%. No problem.
Yeah. What I was going to add in real quick is if you stay tuned, later on in the week, we should be dropping a mock draft, and I think his position is really interesting. So I was just going to say keep an eye out for that one.
You're hinting something there, Dylan.
Yeah.
Kind of off tangent, but going with what Mikey was saying about ACLs, there's the new ways that people can do it. There's a great documentary about a hockey player, Connor McDavid, who's could be like Wayne Gretzky good, right? Probably one of the best young players ever. But he tore his ACL at 19 when he was in the NHL his first year, and everybody was telling him to do surgery, and he ends up not doing it, and he just rehabs it himself with a team of trainers, no surgery, and it came back stronger, and he's faster and quicker. It's just crazy that something like that can happen. He came back 3 months quicker than what you should after surgery.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's crazy the stuff that's coming out.
Yeah.
'Cause I know buddies that tear the ACL and we play soccer. They're out for a year and a half, a full year and a half before you can do anything athletic. And you got these professional athletes coming back in 6 to 7 months. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. AD, Adrian Peterson. I think he was the first one to really prove that you can come back. He had a 2,000-yard season, right? Right after it.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was that year.
Yeah.
But
number 4.
He'll be back.
Yeah. No more tangents.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chris Olave, as Dylan would say here. Chris Olave at 4 here out of Ohio State. The other Ohio State man. He go ahead, Dylan. Or Gage, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mikey. You're going to go. I was trying to think of something. Just kidding.
I liked Chris Olave a lot last year when he was kind of on the fence of entering the draft. The dude's good. He's good. He's quick. He runs good routes. He's got good hands. Watching a few of the games that I watched for tape on him, when he runs, he doesn't look like he's trying, but he is fast and he can make people miss. He's kind of like Garrett Wilson. He just makes it look effortlessly when he's running out there. It just looks so effortless. like the moves he puts on people and when he catches and just everything. I like Chris Olave a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. He helped himself a lot. I don't understand why people are like, oh my gosh, he ran a 4.240. He should probably top 15, and then it gets corrected to 4.39 or whatever, and they're like, oh, maybe, late 20s. Like, dude, it's a 40-yard dash.
Exactly.
Like, if you didn't think he was fast before, what do you think now? I think the wide receiver class overall is better this year than it was last year, or deeper, I should say. But I think the top receivers of last year's draft are better. And Olave was going to go first round last year.
Correct.
That's what people are like. That's what people are thinking. So there's no reason why he shouldn't go this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He didn't regress by any means.
No.
He's obviously still fast. Make every route, catches, and he scores touchdowns.
Yes.
Like, he may not gotten a lot of catches last year, but he scored like 30% of the catches.
And he still almost had 1,000 yards.
That's crazy.
He's
really good.
That's the one thing I hear people talk about Chris Olave is the guy's never had an 1,000-yard season in college. Well, if you look at the COVID year, the dude played 5 less games, and he still had 800 and something yards, I think it was. So imagine if you added 5 more games into that.
Yeah.
And another thing was he can't create separation in the red zone. And I literally watched 3 games where this dude just absolutely cooks DBs on the goal line. He'll one move these guys. Quick jump inside, and he's back out, he's open. What do you mean he can't create separation in the red zone? I like Chris Olave. These top 4 receivers are absolutely insane. I like them all. I have 0 bad things to say about any of these guys.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Dylan.
I was just gonna say, like, a lot of these we're splitting hairs in different areas for each of these players. They could all be considered one, like the wide receiver 1 of the draft.
Oh yeah.
It's just how you slice it.
Yep.
So.
I think every single one of these guys right here can all be a wide receiver 1 on their teams.
Oh yeah, all 4 of these guys are absolutely insane.
Yeah. But
I think any team would love to have them all.
Dropping a tier down of players in the 5th pick here. Is that?
Yeah.
Drake London. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's top 1 or 2 for a lot of players or a lot of talking heads, but you can't really replace the speed lost on Drake London compared to these other players. The really thing that he has on everyone else is his size. He came in at like 6'4", I believe. It's a great skill set to have, and he is a better like after the catch than a lot of people give him credit for, but he's not a separator like the other ones were.
So he's 6'5.5", and he's not even 21. Yeah, he's not even 21 yet.
Oh wow!
Holy crap!
So we'll know officially on his pro day, but he won't even be 21 when he's drafted. He'll
crazy,
hit
actually.
21 as the season starts, basically.
That's crazy.
Or training camp starts. So
Well,
he's got a lot of growing.
Mm-hmm.
And he also played basketball, and it's going to be brought up a ton, but he played basketball for USC his freshman year, I believe, too.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. I could be.
For me personally, I think he's good. It's just not somebody I would pick with my first 15 picks. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, these kind of receivers, they just don't succeed.
Yeah.
The first 4, you've got a body type that you can see their play style and you can see that it succeeds. With Drake London, you just don't know. And I get people talking about like people always like tell me like because I haven't been high on him. So I keep getting told to go watch these games. And like the Notre Dame game that people talk about, like 15 catches, 171 yards, touchdowns. Okay, legitimately 9 were screens. That's not an exaggeration. 9 were screen passes. So that leaves 6 catches that he actually got. 3 of which were quick slants where there was no one covering him. So he didn't beat anybody. 1 was a beautiful route that he ran and actually like spun the corner around and left him, and yet the corner was still able to catch up to him. to make him catch the ball and not get any yak off of it. It's a separation thing for me.
Yeah, that's what I was
It
going to say.
really is. And that might be nitpicky from a Browns fan because we have zero separation ability on our team whatsoever.
But at least you know that.
Yeah, but he'll be good in the right system.
Yep.
Yeah. And like you said, he's really young. He has a lot of time to grow.
Yeah.
Which makes it scarier for me because that's like the Browns like MO is drafting a guy that's like really young because then you can get him for 2 contracts. So it just screams like him.
Yeah. But let's get on number 6.
John Dodson out of Penn State.
This guy's AB.
He's kind of the this isn't meant to be derogatory or anything like that, but he's kind of the step brother to all of these first round wide receivers, because I feel like a lot of these other ones always get in the conversation of being the first or second wide receiver taken, but Jahan Dotson is almost always the 6th wide receiver taken. Like, he just almost always is in that 5 and 6 range.
Yeah.
But a lot of people see him as a late first, early second, a great wide receiver 2 with the potential of being a wide receiver 1 in the right system. Great routes, like you're saying. He looks like AB coming out. I agree with that. He's got a lot to like, but I just wanted to make that real quick comment.
No, that's fair. That's pretty much true, though.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think that's kind of where we're at right now. You've got those 5, which are all... You could see maybe 1 dropping into the second round, depending on how the draft goes and what we're valuing, what people value in the draft and what picks are being made. But yeah, I think he'll go early second. I have no real quarrels with him.
Yeah.
And I don't mean AB like prime AB in the NFL. I mean like AB coming out of college.
Yeah, and not the diva of AB that he has been lately. So
yeah.
All right.
7th,
Christian Watson.
Mikey, go ahead.
Out of NDSU. Watching the combine, I liked this guy a lot when he was up in the second half of that first day with the quarterbacks and wide receivers. He caught my eye. Khalil Shakir caught my eye. And then obviously I think Garrett Wilson was running with those guys, and I think Chris Olave was too. But Christian Watson really caught my eye. He looked clean on his routes. He had sure hands. I think he might have bobbled 1 maybe or dropped 1 maybe, but he looked good on the routes. They were polished routes. Obviously, it can't really cut corners in the combine there, but he looked good. He just caught my eye. I really liked what I saw on that first day at the combine there.
We made one of these earlier this year, and somebody mentioned
Nathan Cunningham.
Yeah, he brought up. He was like, "He's my number 2," and we were like sitting there texting each other, like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah, who is this Christian Watson guy?
We went out of our way and we watched some film on him, and then, like Mikey said, he popped out even more. Yeah, and then he was doing really well in the Senior Bowl. There we go. Senior Bowl week, the practice, he caught a lot of eyes there. At North Dakota State, they don't run a passing offense. They're very run heavy, so he does a lot of blocking. So he doesn't get to do a lot of that. But this is also my problem with Drake London. Like, Christian Watson, 6'4", he's 210, he's got a bigger wingspan, and he kind of does similar things to what Drake London does, just maybe not as an elite level. So I'm like, would you be willing to spend that, first round pick, or would you be risking, like going for him in the second or third round and getting somebody fairly similar to him? Apart from that, like, really, it's all a toolsy kind of thing because you don't get to see much of it at NDSU. He ran screen passes and goes. Mm-hmm. They didn't really let him do too much, but he showed the ability at the combine, and he showed the Senior Bowl week. So
this is kind of one of those first guys out of North Dakota State too that is actually getting some recognition out of the whole Carson Wentz being from there, and then Trey Lance coming out of there, and then they're looking at their quarterbacks, but they're not looking at the guys that they're throwing to and whatnot, and are obviously the quarterback's looking good. Someone else has to be looking good along with him, right? In a sense.
Who's the Eagles tight end right now?
Goddard.
Yeah,
Goddard.
he came out of South Dakota State, right? Not North Dakota State.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I don't know.
I'll look that up later.
So it's kind of nice to see these NDSU guys finally starting to get some recognition out of their quarterbacks that have been getting that recognition. Sorry.
There you go.
But yeah, I like Christian Watson. He caught my eye for sure. Obviously, he has a lot to grow and learn, and hopefully, if whatever team does get him, he can get that opportunity to show it.
Yeah. Moving on.
Number 8.
Dylan,
this is your man.
This is my draft crush. Jalen Tolbert. I originally really liked him because I liked his size that was listed and all of his abilities. And then came out at the Senior Bowl that he was almost 2 inches shorter than what he was listed. So he's 6'1", which is still decent size in the NFL.
Yeah.
But if he was 6'3", he would be a lot higher on this for us. But Jalen Tolbert, I really love watching Jalen Tolbert because you can tell he takes to coaching very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let alone with him being one of the best deep receiving threats in all of college the last 2 years. He does put in a lot of work on his short to intermediate routes. He has kind of rounded off his routes on tape. You can definitely see that. But he cooked one cornerback at the Senior Bowl like so bad. I forget who it was. I think it was
it during
Georgia
that practice?
Yeah, it was that Georgia cornerback.
Oh, it was Cam Taylor-Britt.
No, that was a different one.
Oh.
Which is another cornerback that he beat, but it was Darion Kindry or something like the guy from Georgia. But he just got like 4 yards of separation from the first 2 steps of his route, which is just really impressive. But he has good yards after catch. He has great releases. He has great understanding of the position. Really, the biggest thing is he played for a pretty poor team, and his quarterback just dropped the ball on him a lot. So I think he's going to be a real steal.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put him ahead of all these other players because they have elite traits that justify being above Jalen Tolbert, but I think he's going to be just a pure sleeper stud. And he's my draft crush for that reason.
Yeah.
But
I agree with all that.
But yeah, with that being said, number 9.
We got George Pickens at number 9. I don't think this is based on like true talent. We'll go with that. I think this is more you're looking at the ceiling here. He looks like Josh Gordon. And if anybody knows, Josh Gordon is an absolute stud at wide receiver. We're going to just kind of move over all of his off the field issues and problems he had in his life. But he's 6'3", 6'4", I think, actually, after the combine. He's extremely fast, and he came back from an injury this last year when he shouldn't have. He should have waited a little bit longer, but he wanted to play with the team, which I think says a little bit more, because he clearly knew he was going to the NFL. Everyone kind of expected it. He hurt himself by coming back because people were expecting him to be like a round 1 wide receiver, and he's kind of dropped back. But if he can get that heel down, if he can get his healing down, back up to full speed, I mean, he's what you would make in a video game kind of wide receiver. Fast, big, and strong. And he's aggressive too. That's one of the more like noticeable things if you watch. Every catch, he's extremely aggressive and going up and trying to grab it. To a detriment, on like over the middle routes and shorter routes, but he could be a really good deep threat.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Hopefully
I really like the thought of him being in Atlanta because it'd be George Pickens from Georgia in Atlanta, Georgia. So I just think that'd be hilarious.
I like the thought of him in a Patriots uniform after being drafted in the 4th round. Oh.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know.
See, unfortunately for you, the Browns get to pick before the Patriots do,
Yeah.
like all those rounds.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah,
take him
I
in
know.
the 4th.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you can have him the 4th. We'll take this guy coming up next.
If it's Khalil Shakir, I got dibs.
Nope.
Khalil Shakir. This is Gage's boy. Go ahead, bro.
So if he had a school and a jersey on here that wasn't Boise State, you'd hear a lot more about him.
This is true.
He does it all. In the Boise State offense, you don't really get a lot of top tier athletes. So a lot of the time we get 1 or 2 guys that are just, and then everything kind of goes off of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what he was for us this last year. He'll be in the slot more than likely in the NFL, but he can run every route. He can run the deep ball. He's got probably one of the best body control.
Yes, he does.
In the air in the draft, you'll notice that a lot of the catches that he has to make in State were just kind of like awkward, and yet he's able to twist his body and contort it in a certain way. He's bigger than a lot of people thought. He's 6'2" and
wow.
210 or something. I'm trying to get the exact thing.
Wow.
And then he's also really fast. So yeah, he's 6 foot 200.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
didn't he run a 4.4?
Yeah, he ran a 4.40. So he's not slow. He's extremely fast. He knows how to work routes. He knows how to work himself into getting open, and he can do it from any wide receiver position, and he can run all the routes. I think if you were just playing at a different school, you'd see him a lot higher. I'm praying the Browns draft him. I would love a Boise State player on the team.
Yeah. He looked good at the combine, too. He looked really good at the combine. Like I said earlier, him or Christian Watson, Khalil Shakir, and I couldn't think of the other name, Jalen Tolbert. He was in that same group as those 3, too. And those 3 guys out of that top 4 that were in that group, those guys caught my eye. They looked really well at the combine. So
he didn't drop a pass.
Yeah,
didn't bobble anything.
Yep,
just clean.
Khalil Shakir looked really good, and they had one of the throwing drills was a back corner throw basically to the end zone, and Khalil Shakir showed off some of that body control, trying to make some of those passes, or trying to catch some of those passes that those quarterbacks were throwing.
And a benefit for him, and the reason why it looks really well when he does it is because he isn't super tall, right? He's only 6 foot, but he's got a 70-inch wingspan.
Oh wow,
which is extremely long.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that kind of rounds up our top 10.
Yep.
Really, you got the first 4, which I think are pure number ones that you can get in the NFL. You got 4 to 6, which are kind of that one little tier lower of eliteness, and then you got 7 to 10 that we think can go anywhere from 2nd to 4th round.
Yeah,
guys.
I do want to
for your team
make an honorable mention to Calvin Austin. I think you brought him up earlier.
Yeah.
For his size, he's 5'7", and I don't think a lot of people are trying to draft a 5'7" wide receiver. No. But for that body type, he's an elite athlete, and his hand size is exactly what you want from a wide receiver, and his 3-cone and everything like that is awesome. So he would be a gadget player that is going to be just an honorable mention right now. But I do really like his tape as well. No, he didn't go to West Virginia. He went to Kentucky.
No, that's Wandale.
That's Wandale Robinson.
Calvin I think Austin. They were on this.
He went to West Virginia.
Yeah.
Wasn't there another Kentucky wide receiver other than Wandale Robinson?
I think there was a tight end, but not wide receiver.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Wandale, and funny you mentioned that. Wandale was actually short in the combine. A lot shorter than what people thought. A lot smaller. Him and Calvin Austin.
No. It was Memphis. Memphis, not West Virginia. Sorry, it was Memphis.
He's somebody that you don't want to spend a 3rd round pick on. But if you can get him in 4th or 5th, that's a good gadget. Problems with gadget guys is they won't be consistent guys.
Mm-hmm.
Can't rely on them consistently. But they elevate your overall offense. So,
but yeah, Mike, you want to take us away?
That's all, folks. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but that is all. That's all for this video. Stay tuned for more videos like these. We're going to be pumping out more top 5s, top 10s of position groups for this upcoming draft and post-combine ones. So stay tuned for those. Any last words, fellas?
I'm all good here.
Yep, good.
All right. We'll see you guys later.